Peace, love, and light. I wanted to come today and talk about social media. And one of the things that I've been doing a lot of lately, which is I've been on Clubhouse lately. But being on Clubhouse made me think about something that I hadn't really thought about until I got on Clubhouse, which was the fact that social media, we all have our specific social media platforms that we go to. And in having our specific social media platforms that we go to, it tells a little bit about us as people, which is like, for me, my social media platforms are YouTube and now Clubhouse. But the reason why they are my social media platforms is because YouTube is something that is a place that you can go to and watch videos and pretty much go down a rabbit hole learning about everything that you want to learn about, like without end. Like you can literally go down a rabbit hole with it, like studying different subjects until your heart's content or something like that, like until like you pretty much lose track of time. And it's something that I've done for years. And I've always loved YouTube for that reason, because you can pretty much get lost doing it. But and there's nothing that's ever rivaled YouTube for me personally until Clubhouse. But the reason why, like, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter for me was one of the things that kind of was popular with me, because it was like the first thing after Facebook. Because when Facebook hit, everybody was on Facebook, and everybody was so excited about Facebook. But I was never really excited about Facebook, because it just wasn't really me, because it was about like connecting with people from, like, at first college, and then they opened it up to everybody. And it just wasn't for me. Like, I just never really fit into Facebook. Like, I would have friends ask me, why am I not on Facebook, or why am I not active on Facebook, because everybody's on Facebook. It just wasn't me. But when Twitter came, I felt more open, because it was just like sharing thoughts. And it could be like random thoughts that you were having throughout the day, and it could be as rapid or as fast as you wanted it to be. And it could be whatever you wanted to talk about without question. And it was just like free speech. Like, you could do it at your leisure. You could do it whenever you wanted. So you could express whatever you wanted to express on your page, and nobody could question you. Of course, you had people that were like arguing and stuff like that, but it was literally like one of the first places that I felt like I was free. But it's not something that stuck, because it wasn't a place where you could really have conversation. But I feel like Twitter 333 was like the predecessor of Clubhouse. And one of the reasons why I say that is because it's written form. It's like in written form, like you're having basically conversation with yourself on your own page, and other people can see it if they follow you. But it's like the written form, and it's like free, but that's where the limitation is. Like, you can only speak when you're typing, and you can only really read what somebody else is saying. And you can, though you can get the tone of what they're saying, and you can kind of understand like where they're coming from, but it's still different. Like, the connection is not there. And then we have like Instagram, where you post pictures and videos. I liked Instagram at first because of the idea. Like, you could post like video, you can post pictures and stuff like that. This is before they started doing the videos, but you can post pictures, and the pictures made me think about posting like artistic things for. And the artistic things that I wanted to post was like just pictures, because at that point in my life I was really heavy on the idea of wanting to be a photographer and wanting to share the pictures that I take with the world. But it never really stuck for me because even though I like the idea of sharing myself artistically, it just wasn't enough because the engagement wasn't enough for me. Like it wasn't there wasn't people that I felt were, I want to say, like real followers. Like they like even on Instagram, I would like follow people based on like superficial things. Like it wasn't anything like that I would follow anybody on now. Even though like I don't actively follow people now because of what I just don't, unless I meet them in person. If I meet you in person, then I'll follow you, especially if I believe in, or rather I like you as a person. I'll follow you on Instagram, but I haven't really been following people lately unless I meet them in person. 555. And like if I don't know you on Instagram, then I don't follow you just because you follow me anymore, because it just doesn't make sense to me anymore. Especially if I don't well, if you follow me first and I don't know you, then I don't follow you back. But if you have something on your page that I find interesting, then I follow you. But I don't do that as much as I used to. Like I used to just like see somebody's page and follow them. And I really got out of the habit. And what really got me out of that habit was just like being really in touch with like energy. People hold a certain energy, like even in pictures, that you can kind of tell that it may not be for you. And I've seen that a lot, and it has allowed me to understand that not all the energy that I see on someone's page or get from someone's page is necessarily meant for me. So it doesn't benefit me in any way, shape, or form having them on my timeline. Even though I don't go up and down my timeline anymore, but I do like look at my stories. And there's certain people that I follow on my stories that I just enjoy seeing, like because of the stuff that they post. But even with that being said, Instagram is still not really my favorite thing. Instagram honestly is like the replacement to like giving somebody your business card. And that's what I see it as, and that's what I use it as. Like I use it as a business card, and that's how I'll allow people to get in touch with me. Like especially if I don't really like want to give my number out, I give you my Instagram because I don't really know you that well, and I don't really know what type of person you are, so I don't really give my number out like that. But that's just a personal thing with me. But I'm pretty sure other people are like that. But Clubhouse to me is the only thing other than YouTube that I can literally spend hours on and get value from every hour. But like every minute, but like I don't feel like I'm wasting my time when I'm on Clubhouse. I feel like I could get lost in time when it comes to watching videos, to listening to people on Clubhouse, because it's so much value, so much things that get discussed that are like considered secrets that people don't even like really know or get the privilege of knowing without talking to the right people. And I've been privileged enough to follow the right rooms to hear things that I would normally not have heard other than being on Clubhouse. Clubhouse is by far the best app that I've ever been on, and I'm not exaggerating. Like it's so much value that is on Clubhouse. And people seem, I don't know everybody else's story, but people on Clubhouse seem so genuine when they're sharing the things that they're sharing, and they're helping other people and giving them the value that they have. Like it's been so beneficial, and it taught me that, of course I already knew this, but when it comes to like really giving value, you get more when you give value to other people than when you just like sit around and not really give anything. Like you're just sitting, you have valuable things, you don't give it to anybody. So if you have valuable things and you don't give it to anybody, you don't get value back, because it's all about reciprocity. It's all about the law of reciprocity. Like, you have to give something of value out to get something of value back. And that's something that I've really been carrying with me, which is something that I didn't know. Like, I didn't know the name of it. Of course, I knew what reciprocity was, but I didn't know that it was an actual law that you have to follow. Well, that is like a universal law, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to call it a universal law and it not be a universal law, but I know it is a law. But anyway, I want to say that it's something that I've been carrying with me, and it's something that I've been implementing more because I understand that the importance of it. And I truly believe that sharing things will cause me to get more valuable things back. Even though that's not necessarily the reason why I do it or why I have been doing it, but it's the reason why I have been intentionally doing it lately, because what you give out, you get back. People call this karma, but it's a little bit more than that. To me, it's a little bit more than that. And it's great to have great karma. It's great to have great karma, but it's not necessarily what I would call the law of reciprocity. The law of reciprocity is you giving something of value and you getting something back of greater or equal value. And yeah, I mean, especially like with me, I would say like even the idea of my name being a seed has caused me to really get things back that are bigger than my initial input. But it also causes me to be like in darkness and like the state of unknowingness. And then being in that state of unknowingness, I have to work through the dirt a little bit and to really see, what comes up, what comes out. And in seeing what comes out, I'm allowed to see what the fruit of that seed is. And yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought because I wanted to talk about the seed in another video, but I will be talking about that in another video. And yeah, but yeah, like Clubhouse is the best app ever. Like, I literally think it's the best social media app that I've ever been on, and I've been on pretty much all of them since like MySpace. And even with MySpace, I didn't really like MySpace because to me it was like too complicated, even though I was a computer person. But I never really set up my MySpace page the way that most people have their MySpace page set up. It just wasn't as interesting to me. But yeah, Clubhouse is the best app that I've ever been on as far as like social media. And yeah, I really love being on there. And I think it says a lot about people, the social media apps that they use. I think it says a lot about their personality, like what they're drawn to, because people who go on Twitter, they love to read, they love to express. People who go on Facebook are very like nostalgic people. They like to connect with people who are, from their hometown or from their high school or from their college or something like that. And then YouTube are pretty much visual people that have to see certain things to learn, or if they're interested in learning. But of course, like YouTube was also used for like music videos as well, and still is. But yeah, I think it says a lot about the person that the types of social media apps that they use. I think it says a lot about the person. And these are not judgments; these are just kind of like observations. But I really do love being on Clubhouse as much as I love being, a little bit more than love being on YouTube, because being on Clubhouse, being on YouTube, you have to search for certain things, and you may find some gold, and of course that's the best part of the journey, like sifting through all the stuff that you have to sift through to get to the goal. But with Clubhouse, it's gold like all the time. Like you get it like in pretty much any room that you go in, especially if especially if you follow the right people. And that's just all I've been experiencing. I've been experiencing so many like revelations, so many gems that I would have never found if I hadn't have found Clubhouse. And I'm so thankful for the creators of Clubhouse and the people that actually made Clubhouse what it is today. But and I don't know all the history about it, but what I've heard about it, yeah, I feel like it was a good idea that got put into play, but I would have hoped that certain people would have got more compensation for it. But at the same time, it's bigger than that because it's about human connection, and that's what I get out of Clubhouse. The connection is closer. You get to interact with people that you would have never interacted with, and I don't see like judgment on Clubhouse. I just see a bunch of people collaborating and connecting. Maybe it's just a time that we're in where people are at home more, and during this time of quarantine, it just shows that we as humans seek to be with each other and will seek to be with each other and find ways to be with each other by any means necessary, because that's what I feel Clubhouse is about. It's about like human connection more than anything. And in connecting with other humans, it allows us to be freer and to be more willing to share and to express things that we would have never shared or expressed in any other setting. And yeah, I really love Clubhouse. And that's pretty much what I've been doing for the past maybe and this is the funny part. I've only been on Clubhouse for maybe like a week and a half. But I've been on there enough to know that there's value there, and that the things that I've learned from Clubhouse would have taken me like years to discover on my own, especially with some of the things that I'm learning in some of the rooms that I go in. Like I find some of these things, of course there's an algorithm to it, but by luck, because the combination of people in the room really make the room. And them being as open and as free as they are has allowed me to I want to say cut my learning time down for a lot of things that I'm learning. But it's just a sign of the vibration that I'm on when it comes to that kind of stuff. Like I'm ready to receive those kind of things. That's why I'm emitting the vibration to welcome those things in. And it's really been some eye-opening things, some really reassuring things that I've been encountering lately, or rather, I've been attracting lately. And I'm thankful for that. And with that being said, I want to say that I love you and that I hope that you have a great day.